Welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about places in Thailand. What is it really like in Pattaya from our perspective of actually being there? What's it really like in Chiang Mai? What's it really like in Hua Hin? What's it really like in Nan City and the surrounding areas within the Nan Province? I think it could serve as a useful guide to anyone that's thinking of coming on holiday or even maybe moving over here and retiring, whatever. So this is a real perspective. This is me and my dad have lived in Thailand now for 7 months. In that 7 months, we've had one trip out to Vietnam for a week, but the rest of the time we've spent in Thailand. So the first place we went was Pattaya. Why did we choose Pattaya? We say often in our videos, we didn't come to Thailand for the nightlife, the girls, the party scene. We just didn't. I'm 51 years old. My dad's 81. My dad's just lost the love of his life. The last thing on his mind is going to massage parlors, go-go bars and all of that stuff. So yeah, we didn't come here to Thailand for that. So why did we go to Pattaya first? You know, it's got such a reputation. Why did we go to Pattaya first? Well, I'd been to Pattaya. I'd seen the very worst of Pattaya. And I'd also seen some really nice areas in northern Pattaya. And the main reason we went to Pattaya first was the length of travel. So anyone knows that if you fly from the UK to Thailand, it's a long journey. Yeah. And for an 81-year-old man, it feels even longer. Okay. So I was like, do we go to Hua Hin first? But then that's a 2.5 hour drive. Do we stay in Bangkok? No, it's just a little bit busy for Dad. I wanted to get a full health check for Dad first and foremost, as we start on our adventure here in Thailand and Southeast Asia specifically. So there's a chain of hospitals across Thailand, private hospitals called Bangkok Hospital. Right, people confuse it and think, oh, it's just a hospital in Bangkok. That's not the case. It's a chain of private hospitals, and they're very, very good. Yeah, not the cheapest, but they are very, very good. So I wanted to get Dad a full health check at the very start of our journey together. There's a very good Bangkok hospital in northern Pattaya. Pattaya is an hour away from the airport. So it just made sense to start there, and then we would move on from there once we'd got the health check, make sure that he's A-OK and ready to go on this adventure without any worries or niggling thoughts of his underlying health. So we booked accommodation through Airbnb in Pattaya. And our criteria was nice, really nice swimming pool, gym, and close to amenities. That was our criteria. We found somewhere, it was called The Base, condo complex. And we got there, and it was it was everything that we wanted. Fantastic swimming pool, great gym, and it was dead close to everything. The only problem with it was, which we found out very, very quickly, was it was right in central Pattaya. Now, you could say that, you know, we could have done more research or whatever, but it didn't bother me. It didn't bother my dad until a night time, until you wanted to get some sleep. Now, we're going to sound like right boring people, but as I said before, we're not here we didn't come to Thailand for the women and, you know, the nightlife scene. We came to get healthy again, to immerse ourselves into Thai culture. Every night is party night in central Pattaya. And the condo complex, the base, sort of backs onto Soi Buakhao. So it was loud music. Even when we was on the 13th floor, literally, it was loud music, women screaming till the early hours, 4 o'clock in the morning. So it wasn't ideal, but we were committed. We'd booked for quite a long time, like 3 weeks. It was walking distance to Central, big shopping mall, modern shopping mall, lovely. We could walk to the beach, lovely. In the daytime, great. Loads of places to eat. There was Robin Hood restaurant, where if you wanted a bit of English food, sort of Western style food, it was fabulous. Fantastic service, everything. So Dad went ahead. I do cover in another video about my dad's full health check. I won't dwell on it, but basically it was fabulous. It took a full day, and we came out there feeling really confident that we could continue on this adventure without any worries of my dad's health. And we had to make some changes in terms of diet and lifestyle, in terms of exercise and stuff like that. So we came away. So we'd achieved our goal. We'd got that bit done. We found that in around the sort of Terminal 21, which is a huge shopping mall, fabulous shopping mall there in Pattaya, around that area and further north, there was lovely wine bars, cocktail bars. It was quite cosmopolitan in areas, to be fair, and we really enjoyed it. We took a couple of boat trips over to Koh Lan and Zichet, and that was fabulous. That was like going to another country. And we got a speedboat. It was about £6 to get a speedboat over there. We loved it that much. We stayed a couple of nights. It was great. Beautiful white sands, stunning, lovely. So, what's my opinion on Pattaya? Yes, there's the... I don't even want to call it the dark side, because there's the entertainment side, the adult entertainment side of Pattaya, but also there's an awful lot to do. Day trips, going to like sea life, aquarium places, floating markets, tons and tons of stuff. You can go, you know, shooting, you can go jet skiing, you've got the beach there, fantastic food, restaurants, Hard Rock Cafe, Michelin star restaurant, everything, you know, and you can spend an awful lot of money. And to be honest with you, I spent a lot of money there, because we didn't... The thing with Pattaya was, yes, we went to some of the night markets, which were brilliant, by the way. And we had some of the Thai food and everything, but we found ourselves eating more Western food there, not going to lie. It was just too easy, too convenient, and too comforting. I'm a bit of a fatty eater, so that, you know, that doesn't help. And we stayed there a month, and we did a lot. I think in that first month with the health check, which was like 1,400 quid, I think I spent about 9,000, £9,000. I trekked my dad to 5-star hotel, like penthouse suite for a couple of nights, because we didn't have a bath in our condo accommodation. So I wanted, I did a bit of a surprise for him. That was lovely. And we enjoyed it, but we knew it wasn't quite for us. And what sort of tainted it a little bit was where the condo was, right? So if you're a party animal and you want to go party, stay at the base condos. Perfect. It's right in the centre. But, once it gets dark and you go out of the gates, past the security at the base, there's ladies of the night there, and I didn't want me. It's the last thing that my dad wanted to see, really. As I said before, you just got to remember, he's just lost his wife for 53 years. I'd just lost my mum. So, yeah, we knew it wasn't quite right for us. So we'd been told by a few people, Jomtien. Right, well, Jomtien's got beautiful beaches. It's a lot better. So we said, right, we've tried a condo. Let's try a house with a swimming pool. So we got a house, lovely, lovely house. It had a pool table in there, which you could turn it over, and then it was like air hockey. It had the biggest TV I've ever seen in my life in there, beautifully furnished. It had a small swimming pool, but it was big enough, to have a plunge and everything. And we stayed there a week. And it was quite expensive because you're getting it through Airbnb. It was quite expensive. I can't remember exactly how much I paid, but it was quite a bit of money. The problem there was it was a little bit outside of Jomtien, so it was like on the fringe outside of Jomtien, and one of the things that my dad had to do, part of the recommendation of his health check, was get walking in, get steps in, and lose weight. And the area where we was, there was no walkways. So that rapidly put us off a little bit, but that was based on the area where we were staying. We went down to the beach area. The beach, I'll be honest with you, the beach was nowhere near as nice as I had been led to believe. Nothing like Koh Lan. The islands, I suppose, are always going to be better. And a lot of the beach area and beachfront was under construction, whether they were renovating it or just building it up. And it was like all in kind of a strip, if you like, and there was still the adult nightlife aspect. It just felt like a tamed down Pattaya. And we found ourselves getting taxis into Pattaya to go to nice restaurants. There was some nice places. We found a breakfast place, beautiful, run by an American guy. Really, really nice. We enjoyed our time there, but we knew pretty quickly that it just felt like it was in the early stages of building up and modernizing it, it just wasn't for us, Jomtien. So by this stage, we were a month in, and we had already arranged to meet one of my TikTok friends. He's built his own house in Chiang Mai, beautiful house, and he'd invited for us to go visit and to stay with him for a couple of nights in Chiang Mai. So quickly got a taxi to the airport, flew to Chiang Mai. Only an hour and 15-minute flight. Got to Chiang Mai. Friend picked us up, Johnny. Took us to his house. We were blown away. His house was amazing. He even had like an English pub inside. It was brilliant. But just driving through Chiang Mai, it was just a completely different vibe. The thing that had put us off with Chiang Mai was, you hear stories about the pollution and the smoky season and all of that. Well, this was not in that time, that smoky season. So the air was clear, there was mountains, it looked beautiful. So we spent a couple of days at my friend's house, we had fun. So I booked us into Astra condos, and that was fairly central, and it was a 2-bedroom place. It was significantly cheaper than anything we'd paid up to this point in Thailand. And it was nice. And what was nice about it was, you know, the walkways were good. We could go on our walks. I did a 4-hour live stream on TikTok, walking all around Chiang Mai. It was great. Loads of places to eat, loads of places. If you missed an English breakfast, there was a place within walking distance, 2-minute walk. You was at 7-Eleven. There was a barber's there. There was everything that we needed. Still had the old tuk-tuks, which was great, you know, flying about in them. They are more expensive than getting a taxi, but they're great fun. They're still cheap. Like, you can pretty much get anywhere in Chiang Mai for about 150 baht, 200 baht in a tuk-tuk. So good value for money. We had a little tour. We got a tuk-tuk driver who we befriended. He was great, and he took us on a tour around the city, the old city. It's just a great vibe there. Some good bars. It's got a little zone for the adult side of things. So it kind of caters to everybody, Chiang Mai. And there's no extreme in any one area. The beauty was a very short drive or a moped ride out of the city, and you are in stunning scenery, mountainous regions. You can go see waterfalls, you can go to elephant sanctuaries, ethical elephant sanctuaries, hot springs. There was everything. It was great. During this time, I'd been talking to a lady, Peen, who was now my girlfriend. Been talking to her online for a number of weeks, and I met up with her. Went on our first date. Went to the Intercontinental Hotel. It's got a sky bar on top, quite posh. So that was good. We hit it off like house on fire, and we wanted to change from a condo just to see what it was like to live in a townhouse. So we changed to a townhouse, which was a little bit away from the centre, but it was lovely. It was like brand new. It was very nice, and we could go on walks near rice fields, everything. It was great. So the only slight problem with the townhouse was, in the daytime, if you wanted to go into the centre or go to Central Festival or wherever, Central Festival is a massive shopping mall. One of the best shopping malls I've been to be fair, and I'm well travelled. There was a lot of traffic. There was like it would take ages. It was only like 10 kilometres away, but it took ages in the daytime. On the nighttime, it wasn't too bad. So if you wanted to go out for a drink, it wasn't too bad. But it was still a long way from everything. And you could say, oh, well, what do you want? You know, you after perfection. And we were like, well, you know, it's still early days in Thailand. You have to try all different areas, different types of accommodation and everything. And then you do a comparison, don't you, afterwards? Until you've tried other ways, other areas, other places, you just don't know. You've got nothing to compare against. So we felt like it wasn't quite right, but it could be the best option. So that's how we felt at that time. And during that time, I'd started dating Peen, my girlfriend of today. We'd been seeing each other for a few weeks, and she suggested, I think your dad would love where I'm from. Nan Province. It's beautiful, especially this time of year. Everything's green and lush. It's amazing scenery, and she showed my dad some photos and that. And my dad was like, "Come on, let's go, you know, let's go." So we stayed in the townhouse for a bit, and then when our time was up, team a great Ford Ranger, comfortable car, and she said, "I'll drive us there. It's a stunning drive up." So that's what we did. We packed our stuff into the car. Peen has a number of businesses. She's very well connected in Nan City and the surrounding region. She had a biodiesel company. So she knew a lot of people. She knows a lot of people. So her friend had a resort, a luxury resort, and she gave them a ring and negotiated half-price stay in some luxury rooms, which looked great on the photos, with bath. You know, like we had like a Norwegian hot tub on the balcony. My dad had this great big bath on a balcony overlooking a river and the mountains. It was stunning. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, so we drove up very winding roads, but bloody good roads. Good quality tarmac. It was a stunning ride. Luckily, me and my dad, we don't get car sick. But anyone that does get car sick, that drive from Chiang Mai to Nan, I highly suggest you get some anti-sick tablets from the pharmacy, travel sickness tablets, because it was winding roads. Breathtaking though. We thought it was pretty in and around Chiang Mai. Well, it just got more and more beautiful the closer we got to Nan Province. And the most notable thing was the quality of the roads got better and better and better. And then when we got into Nan Province, which is a big province, by the way, the roads were perfect, no potholes, nothing. So it was very pleasant drive, plenty of places to stop, grab something to eat. We stopped probably 4 times on the way up, and it took approximately 6 hours. And it took 6 hours because we kept stopping. And if we see a viewing area in a mountainous region or whatever, I'd get Peen to stop so I could film a TikTok or whatever. So I would say if you just did it in one shot, you'd probably do it in 4.5 hours, maybe a little bit more. And there's a couple of routes that you can take to get to Nan. And the route we took the first time was very windy, but it was great. It was an experience. So we arrived, we got to the resort. We were blown away. It was beautiful. The rooms were beautiful. The views were spectacular. And we stayed in that for 3 nights, I think it was. We visited family, some of Peem's family. That was good. Went out for a meal with them. Really enjoyed that. The one thing I noticed instantly was when you went to a restaurant or somewhere to eat, the menus, there was no English translation in most of the menus. There was the odd place that had it in Nan City, but in the area where we were staying, which is 45 minutes from Nan City, in a place called Pua, yeah, we didn't see one foreigner. So we really enjoyed that in Pua. Team took us round amazing places, loads of coffee shops in the mountains that really, Thai people are very, very creative and they know how to extract the best out of what they've got. And what you can't buy is you can't buy beautiful scenery, and you go to these coffee shops and they've made them beautiful and put, decorations in place that you can take the best photos, little swings, when you're overlooking mountains and valleys and rivers. And it's just, I cannot describe how beautiful, how breathtaking, how peaceful it was. After about a week there, we was missing a bit of Western food, but more specifically me, because I'm a bit of a fatty eater. So Pete was like, why don't we go to Nan City? It's got a few restaurants there that do like Western food. It's got a little bit of nightlife. By the way, no lady bars, in the whole of Nan Province. Well, I ain't seen one. People can correct me if there is, but I haven't seen one. What you've got in Nan City is you've got like music bars, cocktail bars, lovely, where Thai people go to enjoy a night out and a bit of fun. And Thai people in this region really like to have a drink and enjoy themselves, which is great. Okay. So we went to Nan City. Excuse me. We went to Nan City, stayed in the hotel for a couple of nights, and me and my dad was taken aback how beautiful it was in the whole region. So we said, well, can we try and get a house for like a month just to see? And finding rentals here is quite challenging, But being with her connections, she managed to get us in touch with a friend of a friend of a friend. We ended up having a look at a couple of houses. We chose one. It was in the countryside, but 5-minute drive to a big sea sort of shopping centre, and 10 minutes to the centre. Great. But it was surrounded by rice fields. It had a pond right next to it. I used to feed the fish in the morning. So we moved in. It was fab. We instantly sort of looked at each other after the first night and said, we could live here, like long term, we could live here. And we had the option to do that. So, wake up in the morning, there was a terrace overlooking mountains. It was just pure serenity. It was so good. We went out for a couple of nights out. We went to restaurants. It was fabulous in every sense of the word. Right. So at this time, my daughter was coming over to visit. My 24-year-old daughter, she was coming over to visit, and as she came over, the worst floods in 100 years hit the region. We had plenty of notice, so we stopped. We knew we was in an area that didn't flood, so we knew we were safe, but we didn't know about access to get food and supplies and everything. So we bought everything, stocked up on a ton of water, food, everything, and it just didn't stop raining. It didn't stop raining for days. The floods was like total devastation for Nan City. And the problem lied in the fact that to get to some of the nice coffee shops and different viewing areas, which we wanted to show my daughter, you had to drive through Nan Centre to get there, because it was the other side. And it was just flooded out. It was flooded out. It was heartbreaking to see. You'd see like old people dragging old furniture out, silt everywhere. The aftermath of it was devastation. Yeah. But people still smiling, getting on with it. They're obviously not their first rodeo. So we decided, right, well, what we'll do is we'll take Amy to Chiang Mai, because there's a lot more to do. She's a younger lass. She wants to go out for a drink, you know. He wants to do some stuff. So we jumped in the car again, went back to Chiang Mai. We stayed in a different condo this time, which is a little bit further up the road than the first condo we stayed at. It was owned by the same company, but it was called Astra Sky River. And I was like, why is it called Sky River? Anyway, this place has the longest rooftop swimming pool in Southeast Asia. Unbelievable. It was like a river on the top of the complex. It was amazing. Amazing gym. Little co-working spaces there. It was great. And there was a 7-Eleven across the road. There was KFC. There was Dairy Queen. A few little shops. Massage place. Barbers. You name it. There was everything on your doorstep. You could just go outside. We stayed in a 3-bedroom condo. Me, Amy, my daughter, and my dad. And it was great. Amy loved it. First time in a tuk-tuk. There's no tuk-tuks in this area. I guess because I don't get enough tourists to sort of justify it, you know. No grab taxis either. So we enjoyed that. We then travelled back after a week. Amy flew out, went back home. Then we had to leave the country to get our visa stamped back in. So we decided, right, we'll go Da Nang. We'd heard good things about Da Nang in Vietnam. We'll fly to Da Nang. Now, Pim had only been to Laos. That's the only foreign country she's been to. So I said, well, do you want to come with us? It'd be a little holiday. I'm only going to stay a week. Anyway, so we did. We flew from Nan City Airport to Bangkok. That was only a 55-minute flight, which was amazing, really. And it was dirt cheap. It was 1,000 baht each, £22 each. So that was real interesting, that, because I was like, Nan City, if we do want the hustle and bustle, or we do want to go on a proper shopping spree, 22 quid for a flight, we could just fly to Bangkok. So accessibility, it was quicker to fly from Nan to Bangkok than it was to fly Chiang Mai to Bangkok. So that was real interesting. We went, cut a long story short, we went to Vietnam. We had some fantastic days out. We had some Michelin star restaurant meals at Witherspoon prices. It was unbelievably cheap, but the traffic was horrendous, and the bibbing of horns just did my dad's head in. I don't know whether it was his age or whatever, but it really, he didn't fall in love with Vietnam at all. And we both said it. We said if we'd have gone from the UK to Da Nang, we'd have thought it was the bee's knees. But because we had Thailand, we'd been to Thailand first, you can't help but compare the two. And just people just a little bit more open, friendly. That's not to say that the Vietnamese people weren't friendly. They were. They were just a little bit more reserved. We enjoyed that. We flew back in. Me and my dad flew back to Chiang Mai to a condo. Pim flew to Nan and drove the car from Nan to Chiang Mai, so we had the car. We stayed a little while in a condo, Astra Sky River, same one. We really liked that because it was so close to everything. And then we decided, right, loads of people have talked about Hua Hin being, a really good place for people to go retire, and it's got beautiful beaches and everything. So we were like, what do we do with the car? Do we just leave it here and then just fly? And we was like, no, let's drive. It's an adventure. So we drove a blooming long way, all the way to Hua Hin, from Chiang Mai. Epic journey. We stopped halfway. So we did it over 2 days, and we booked Airbnb, house with swimming pool. Small but cute, nice, good enough for us. And we went on some day trips, which was great. We went in a boat, mountain range, really, really nice. We enjoyed it. But even though I'm 51 and my dad's 81, I have never seen so many old people in all my life. Unreal, And I think because it was a lot of elderly people, everywhere closed at midnight. So even if you did fancy a night out, like me and Pim, like a night out at least once a week, it's shut at 12, and you're just getting going. So that was a bit of a bummer. And there was a lot of very old men with very young girls, women. And it just, I don't know, Hua Hin is like on one strip. It's like one strip. And it's good, it's got shopping centres, it's got everything, and it's got beach. What I would say is the beach in Hua Hin itself ain't as good as I thought it would be. You had to travel a little bit outside, and then you got beautiful beaches. And there was plenty of stuff to do. We just felt a pull, really, like a draw from Nan, where we'd stayed in Nan, to come back to Nan. It was just, there's just this element of peaceful serenity that you get from Nan Province. And I think it's just something cool about living somewhere where not many foreigners live. And So we'd been, I think, 10 days or something, maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think it was, in Hua Hin. We looked at each other, and I said to my dad, I said, kind of miss Nan Province. My dad was like, yeah, I'm saying. So we're in control of our own destinies. We were like, right. Our time was coming up at that particular accommodation. We were like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's go back to Nan. We'd forgot, though. We'd forgot that it was very, very difficult to find accommodation. We were very lucky to get the house before. So we'd forgot how difficult it was to find long-term accommodation in Nan. We'd committed in our heads this is where we were going to live. So we made the epic journey from Hua Hin to Nan. Long journey. Thankfully, a lot of it was dead straight. It was only sort of the last few hours that's like windy and that, but it was an adventure. We're on an adventure. That's the whole point of this, you know. So we embraced the adventure of just getting up and going, and that's what we did. So we arrive in Nan. We were an hour away from Nan Province, and I was like, right, where do we stay? I better book somewhere because we didn't have anywhere to. Anyway, we found a homestay. People were like, don't book it online. We'll just, if we see a homestay, we'll go and we'll ask them the price. You'll get it way cheaper. I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll blame you if we don't get any accommodation for tonight and we end up sleeping in the car. But anyway, she was dead right. We went, and a homestay that was online for one price, they give us another price, and it was unbelievably cheap. And we got like room each with everything. It was like brand new. It was £17 a night. Unbelievable. That was for, yeah, what's it? No, it was £14 a night. So it was £28 in total. So we stayed in one for a few nights. And then we moved to another one. We stayed there a few nights whilst looking for a house. During this time, my dad's had been struggling with his cataracts. Cataracts is when you have like a clouded lens. So it was really affecting him and bugging him. And we'd talked about having his cataracts operation done. The issue you have in Nan Province, no private hospitals. They're building one in Nan City now, but it's not finished. So I contacted one in Chiang Mai and got him booked in. And so we left and drove to Chiang Mai. We've got some miles in, I tell you. So we drove to Chiang Mai. I said, let's stay in some real luxury houses with swimming pools. I was missing having a swimming pool. So that's what we did. We got a beautiful house. Got his cataracts operation done. Stayed overnight. Next day he's got like 20/20 vision at 81 years old, which was amazing. Then we got another house with a swimming pool, which is beautiful, and we stayed there 10 nights. We invited Peem's mum to come stay and her daughter. They stayed with us. It was great. Her brother ended up traveling down because his daughter goes to university in Chiang Mai. We had a couple of house parties. That was cool. Good fun. Yeah, really good fun. Um, and then we were like coming towards the end of our stay in this house, and we were like, right, what are we going to do? Are we going to commit to Chiang Mai? But then there was that niggling question in our mind: what happens during smoky season? So I asked the question to Peen, and I said, look, when it's burning season, how bad does it get in Nan? And she said, nowhere near as bad as Chiang Mai, just because of the location and everything. You get it, but nowhere near as bad. So we were like, you know what? Let's make it work in Nan because we love it. We absolutely love it here. And here we are now. And we stayed in a homestay, and we loved this homestay that much. There was no other customers or guests. So we asked the owner and said, would you rent out the whole homestay to us? And there's a coffee shop on site. It's got everything that we need: kitchen, outdoor eating area, everything. And she was like, yeah. And we got it for an incredible price of £590 a month for a whole homestay, which is amazing, right? And here we are. And what can I say? It's super cheap here. Everything is cheaper. It's not the driver for us being here, but it does help when you feel like you're getting a bargain. Every financial transaction feels like you've got a right score. Like the key thing for me is the pure beauty of this region and the lack of traffic. You can go in the car, go on a motorbike, drive up amazing tarmac roads, winding through the mountains, go for coffee in the morning, watch the sunrise. Yeah, it's just. I mean, look at this. This was this morning. Yeah, it's getting a little bit cooler now because it's going into winter season. But look at that. I mean, it's just serene. It's just serene. We look at the stars at night, because there's very little light pollution. Look at that. Yeah. So for us, Nan is the best. Second best, Chiang Mai. Had I been a little bit younger, and had I not, or even if I went with my dad, I'd probably settle for Chiang Mai but I don't know what it's like in burning season. So my answer might be completely different during burning season. So I'll give you an update because I'll give you an update in the new year when they start burning, and we'll see what it's like here. And if it's not right, we'll move. It's as simple as that, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what we're doing. We're not tied down. We've got all our worldly belongings in a few suitcases, a few rucksacks. Yeah, but I do feel like we are living the dream right now, and it's been with every single area that we've been to, we have enjoyed immensely. I don't think you'll be disappointed wherever you go. And don't listen to people that say that Pattaya is just a sordid cesspit, because it's not. It's got its own lovely areas. I've been a bit harsh on Hua Hin. Hua Hin's very, very nice. We really enjoyed our time there. It just wasn't quite right for us. And I'm not that bothered. So a few people have said on my TikTok channel, will you miss the beach? Not really. I'm not a beach person. I mean, look at my complexion. I just burn. I never go brown. I just go red, peel, back to white, red, peel. That's what I do. So laying on a beach, getting sand all over me is just not my thing. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to see the sea and smell the sea air and everything. But if we want to go to the beach, we can get a flight very, very quickly from here. So if you are coming to live in Thailand and you want peace and serenity, Nan Province, that's where you want to be. And it's so accessible from Bangkok. Even if you're on holiday, you just want to have 3 days. Say you've been partying in Bangkok for a week or in Pattaya and you just want to chill out, detox, jump on a flight, get your bum to this region because it is truly spectacular.